beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, let's talk about Diddy and them. We are here to talk about Diddy and them. But guess what? Back by popular demand is my baby.
Hey, beautiful. Listen, look, I want to apologize for my performance before we even get started. Look, I know it went off the rails a little bit towards the end. I've been in therapy, and therapy is a beautiful thing. And I am back, and I am a new me.
Okay, listen.
So I want to welcome the beautiful people family.
All right, you guys. So we're going to keep it cute this time. Not all that laughing, I promise you. But yeah, we're going to get into the Cassie and Diddy case, you guys. And there may be some opinions that you do not agree with. I feel like we may go back and forth with some things. So just bear with us. But I mean, it's a lot going on. So we're going to try to touch on as much as we can. But let's get into it.
All right, beautiful people. See, I didn't say beautiful bitches. We need you all to like, comment, and subscribe to I Think You Wanna Be a Podcast When You Grow Up. And
all right, so let's start off with the fact that Cassie was the first witness called, and I'm pretty sure that was because she is 8 months pregnant, 8 months and then some, and they just want to make sure that they get her out the way before she has her baby. Yep, pops. And so her testimony, let's talk about it. Let's talk about everything that she, went through.
yeah, I mean, it was very in-depth. I thought from all reports, she kept her composure very well and stayed even keeled throughout, even despite some of the graphic text messaging, some of the photos. I know they were doing still photos. By all accounts, she held her own, held her composure, and did not crack or break it at any point. So kudos to her for that. Yeah,
and so did her husband. And with that, I want to ask you, already. So how would you feel about sitting in a courtroom with your now wife talking about abuse that she went through, and it's not even just abuse, but a lot of sexual activity, and like really having to delve back into what she went through with her ex? How would you do with that?
Yeah, that was very tough. Me personally, I'd have took a rain check. I'd have been like, hey, maybe I'll catch you on the next trial, but I'm gonna have to sit this one out because I'm not trying to hear all that.
Okay, so what you're saying is you wouldn't be supportive?
I would be supportive. It's just, now all jokes aside, that'd be very tough. That's difficult to hear.
Yeah.
About your current wife. But I get it. He does have to be there and support her.
Yeah. And then if you think about it, it's not stuff that he's never heard. Like, they had to have had these conversations before. I mean, maybe not to that extent where he's hearing exact text messages
that's graphic,
and stuff.
I'm getting peed in my face
and
drinking it by multiple people at the same time. Yeah, that.
What? Did she
I don't think they had that discussion.
Was it multiple people at the same time?
Yeah, it was.
Really?
It was the hired and paid escort, and Diddy joined in.
Really?
So she got the double golden shower. She got the boom boom. So baby,
I
don't think they had that type of discussion.
Yeah.
But
not the boom boom.
Yeah, I don't know if they had that.
Is that true though?
Discussion. Yeah, that's the word on the street. That's what I heard.
No. All right. So after a quick Google search, my baby was right. They were doing it at the same time. She said it was too much, and she choked. She did say that he joined in terms of urinating on her and in her mouth. Very disgusting. She did state that she did not like it, and who would like it? But of course she was being made to do it. So there was just a lot going on, baby. Like, and how do you feel? Like, I just feel like it was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a lot, and I mean, that is a lot. That's kind of disgusting that, you know, you had two people
Yeah.
doing it at the same time.
I mean, even one person.
Yeah.
Who wants that? Like,
Right. Well, some
Yeah.
people do, but
and well, I
But
mean,
two
well,
is
he did.
extreme.
So,
Yeah, it's an extreme.
yeah.
So
And then, I mean, there was testimony that she had gone into the room with Diddy, and then came out and said she wanted the escort to pee on her. So people were using that in terms of saying that she liked it, she wanted it, she asked for it. However, she just came out of the room with Diddy, so she was pretty much doing what he asked her to do. How do you feel about that?
yeah. I mean, I would agree with that to a certain extent. I mean, we got to keep in mind. I mean, she was extremely young at the time, and I mean, you got to keep that in context from where she is now, being pregnant and having. She already has what, 2 children? Does she have 2?
I don't know if it's one or 2.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
she's a grown woman.
yeah, you got to
married.
keep in mind, 22 years old. Diddy was in complete control of her life at that time, and that's part of the charges. Part of what they're charging him with is the racketeering, the coercion. I mean,
Yeah.
that's essentially that's your boss. Like, Diddy's your boss and your lover. You know what I mean? So. And you're 22 years
Exactly.
old, so yeah,
And
he's
then
dictating a lot of the terms.
Yeah, well, of course. And I did hear that she said she wasn't even attracted to him at first. Like, she didn't want him like that. He was a producer. He was, like you said, her boss. And it puts me in the mind of like Ashanti with
Irv Gotti.
yeah, and the fact that she said she didn't like him like that, and then he kind of pulled up on her, like he dropped her off one day at home and was just kind of like coming up on her. These people work for you, and these are young girls, so of course if this is your boss, you're gonna feel like this is something that you have to do. She had a 10-album deal with this man, back to Cassie, and literally only put out 1 album.
Wow. Yeah, and I mean, I could see how she would not be attracted to Diddy because he is not the looker.
No.
Especially with his glasses off. I don't know what it is with
Like,
the glasses
even
off. He looks very strange.
Because his face.
His face is something's
whole
wrong with his face and his teeth.
It's not cute. Well,
yeah, and he's got kind of a bubble head.
And
He's
then,
kind of got
and
the
then she's beautiful.
great gazoo head
Well-
jumping out. But,
He does. Oh, he does. He does.
but I would guess
And
most
she's
people don't know
beautiful.
who the great gazoo is.
I don't either.
'cause That was from the Flintstones. And,
I do know who that
and
is.
to my knowledge, Flintstones is no longer on TV.
They're not. You are old as
but,
shit.
yeah.
But I do know who he
You
is.
do because
Good Gazoo or something. What was it?
yeah,
Great Gazoo or
he's-
Good Gazoo?
Yeah, the Great Gazoo. You know.
Okay.
because-
All right. We're gonna put up a
you're
picture of the
just
Great
as old as I
Gazoo.
am.
All right.
But
anyway.
neither here nor there.
Yeah.
He is not an attractive man.
Well,
but
yeah.
$1 billion
It makes him attractive.
sure does.
But does it make him attractive enough to get beat on and peed on? And I mean, let's talk about the fact that she literally had sores in her mouth from all of the oral sex. Like, let's talk about 4 days. She said the longest she went was 4 days of these freak offs or whatever. And I mean, that's just a lot. Like, I honestly feel so bad for her, even though there are people that are on the other side of that, because we do know that Cassie, I mean, a lot of people think that Cassie is not completely and totally innocent in all of this. So we will talk about that too, in terms of her writing this book and then asking him for what, $30,000 or so. And he told her
30,000?
no. I mean 30 million.
There we go.
All right,
Now we're
yeah.
talking.
Let's bring it up.
That's way up.
$30 million, and with him turning her down, then he, she said then she's gonna sue him. So I mean, a lot of people are kind of on the fence, and then we did learn a lot about, like I said, their text messages and her ended up saying that he raped her. However, she ended up having consensual sex with him again a month later. How do you feel about that? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to digest. I mean, he should have just paid her the $30 million.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He should have.
I mean, it's inconceivable some of the stuff that she, went through, and I wouldn't say
Yeah.
put herself through, but I think it's at the hands of Diddy. Like, there's a lot of what they say, the coercion going on in that situation. Again, we talked about with Diddy having all the control, all the power, her age, the abuse that had taken place. She was in a very difficult position, and essentially fighting for her career. Like
Right.
like you said, she had a certain amount.
Shit, and her
promised
life
to her.
eventually, like
Yeah.
after he was beating the shit out of her.
Yeah, he was-
I mean, we saw in the video that
Yeah.
wasn't a one-off. He was beating
Right.
the shit out of her on a continuous basis. Like we have Dawn Richard ended up testifying that she was there and she saw him beat her up.
Yeah, that's
like
what she
over
said.
some eggs.
Right. And
Yeah.
he hit her with the skillet that the eggs were supposed to be cooked in, or
Yeah.
something to that degree. Which, I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's extreme. Like hitting somebody in the head with a skillet because she don't know how to make eggs is ridiculous.
Well, I don't know if it was because she didn't know how to
Yeah,
make them.
whatever the
He
situation.
said where his eggs at. So
Oh, he
maybe
said
they
where
just
his
weren't
eggs
done.
at?
Yeah, something
Get
like
the
that.
eggs made quicker.
Well,
Girl,
listen.
get up
We
out the bed
can't. We
and
can't
make
joke
them
about.
eggs.
We can't joke about
But
it
no, we
because he
can't.
ended up dragging
eggs.
her upstairs,
And
and like she said, all she heard after that was like glass and stuff breaking and Cassie
Jeez.
screaming.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean, I just want to say there's a lot of back and forth in terms of her being okay with a lot of it, because we do know that she sent text messages saying she loved the freak offs and she can't wait to do another freak off. And to me, that's bullshit. Like she was just saying what she was groomed, and I know everybody hates that word, groomed, but she was literally 19. I thought they
Yeah.
said 17 to 19
19.
when it started. That is a young girl, and yeah, he groomed her into thinking that this was okay. And I don't know, like it's so many people going back and forth with the fact that she was willing, but I really do think it's a whole lot of Stockholm syndrome and what she was groomed to like.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, obviously, the whole Stockholm syndrome thing is, is a key point in this case. Yeah, I mean, she with her age, and again the control, and the physical violence, like
Yeah,
that's a huge aspect of it, and that video, I mean, secures it. Like that sews everything up, and obviously. From his level of comfort in doing that and kicking and all that. I mean, that wasn't the first time. Obviously, that wasn't
at all.
the first time.
And he did that in a public place. Like, this is a hotel. You don't own this hotel. You know there's cameras all around. Even though you had a dumbass, security that they said made a copy to show his wife and never called the police or anything, which is why we just found out that she actually sued the hotel. What was it, the Intercontinental, something like that, and won $10 million. So altogether, Cassie got her $30 million. She got 20 from Diddy and then 10 from the hotel. So I say, good for her.
Yeah,
Good
I
for
mean,
her.
obviously, after all of that, $30 million from what she went through.
Yeah. What was it, like 10 years?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I
30
million.
million, I might want to. Yeah, I'm
What?
gonna be quiet.
You wanna do
30
some freak
million?
offs for 30 million?
Yeah,
You would
no.
want to. Men would
Nah.
want to do some freak offs for 30 million. Y'all would do it for 30,000. But anyway,
Give me $30. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
$30. But and it's not a laughing matter, you guys.
It's
The
not.
point is that I just feel like it's a lot going on with this case, and it's going to be a lot more. Let's talk about the fact that she said Diddy would have the men, the escorts, when they ejaculated, he would kind of tell where they needed to ejaculate, when they needed to ejaculate. If they didn't ejaculate when he wanted them to, if they came too fast, he wouldn't pay them a lot. So he would pay anywhere between $1,500 to $7,000, and it really just depended on how they performed. And he would literally tell her to come into the room to where he was after the escort ejaculated and rub the semen on his nipples. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, Diddy has some. He has some issues, like for real. Like he has some fetishes and some kinky stuff
God.
going on. I mean, he's essentially, directing the porno with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe in his eyes, he didn't see her as that, during them times.
Yeah.
Maybe he just saw her as, a prostitute or a porn star actress. But whatever the case is, it was ridiculous. It was inappropriate, and
Unfortunate for her.
total violation of her as a, as a young lady, and
Yeah. I just think that he has a lot of issues. But do you feel like he's going to do time? Let's get into that, because let's get into the fact that they are basically saying is that yes, he did domestic violence. He is a super freak. It is very nasty. He's a very nasty man. However, are they proving that he did this racketeering and what's the other thing he's going for? Oh, trafficking, sex trafficking, which, I mean, yeah, he's going from, place to place with Cassie and I guess other women, and I guess they'll get into it a little bit more later. Right now, domestic violence, sure, but what do you think about them proving the rest of the case?
Yeah, I think that's the key, like not to get caught up. Yeah, Diddy is a horrible human being, and I think his own defense pretty much admitted to that and said that right off the jump. But to prove the racketeering, is the challenge. I mean, it's only been a week so far, with Cassie being the main person on, on the stage, so to speak. At this point, no, I don't see racketeering, but
trafficking. I think they're going to get to it.
The trafficking, I think we can get that. The escorts and
for sure,
crossing state lines and all of that.
Yeah,
for sure. But the the racketeering is what they have to still prove, and as of now, no. But it's a lot. We got
it's a lot
2
more
months
to come.
Probably worth the trial to come, and so.
Yeah, and like literally we've only had 5 days of it, and it's been a lot. Like, it's a lot to cover. It's so much to cover. I mean, we haven't even gotten into the fact that she said he raped her, and literally a month later she ended up going to his home and having consensual sex with him, and people were saying that, you wouldn't do that. If he raped you, then you wouldn't do that. Not to mention the fact that people were saying your boyfriend can't rape you, which is bullshit, because they can. Like, if you are not interested in doing it at that point in time and they take it, that's rape. I don't care if it's your boyfriend, your husband, I don't care. If you're not into it at the time, don't be looking at me like that.
Huh?
All right, so let's talk about the fact that the kids were in the courtroom. How do you feel about that? I mean, I do know that once the escort started telling his side of the story, the girls were taken out. However, they were there for the full Cassie testimony, but when the escort started giving his testimony, they left, but the boys stayed in. So what do you feel about that? I mean, the boys are grown, but it is a lot to hear about your dad.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I get his perspective, having his daughters in there for support purposes, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't have my kids up in there
to make him look
that.
Like a family man.
Yeah, I mean, to portray that certain image, but I don't think I would have my girls in there for any of that. Just because, I mean, he's coming off as a monster. Like, he's coming off as,
which he is.
Yeah, he is. So, yeah.
So you think it's okay for the sons to be in there, though?
I mean, with their age and them being a little older, maybe. But again, me personally, no, I wouldn't want to have my sons in there hearing about all those, indiscretions and just negative, just horrible behavior, like indiscretions.
But I mean, not to mention the fact that he's done a lot of this shit. Well, I won't say a lot of this shit, but he's done a lot of stuff in front of his sons. And Christian Combs was named in one of the suits. I think it was eventually dropped or something. But Christian allegedly is no angel as well. So maybe that's why he doesn't care about having them in there, because they were there at most of these parties probably.
Right, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they got some freak off in themselves.
Oh, well, yeah, hopefully
Yeah, I
not
mean,
with
because
Cassie.
Did he start? He started young. I mean, he started grooming young, not with Cassie, but the whole
Yeah.
Justin Bieber angle and all types of stuff. So,
Usher.
Usher,
Yeah.
I mean, all that. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm sure the boys have seen a thing or two. And
Oh, for sure.
participated in a thing or two,
Which is unfortunate because after
or not.
well, okay. After his oldest son was picked up for drunk driving, Misa, his son by Misa. I can't remember their names, you guys. I'm sorry. I know Christian is the one that looked like him. And the oldest one is
Sorry
the
to
one
hear
that is not stupid. The oldest one is the one that doesn't is not actually his. Okay, Quincy, which is Albie Shure's son. But I'm talking about Justin. Justin is the one that he had with Misa. And after Justin was arrested for drunk driving, he got a DUI. And she came out and she was like going off on Diddy because she felt like he was a bad influence on her son. And yeah, so they definitely seen a lot of stuff with their dad.
Yes, they did. Thank you for that segue. That nice, smooth transition. You just dropped me off a grenade. And 3, 2, 1, kaboom. Jesus. Right. What the fuck?
All right, you guys. So the last thing we're going to touch on is the lubrication and the fact that, of course, they ended up finding over 1,000 bottles of Johnson & Johnson baby oil and what was the Astroglide, which is a lubricant in his home. Ain't nothing. And let's talk about the fact that Cassie said at one point he bought a blow up pool and filled it with Johnson & Johnson baby oil, and he wanted her
Wait,
to,
was it Johnson & Johnson
it
specifically?
was Johnson
She
&
said
Johnson.
Johnson &
She
Johnson?
did. It was Johnson
Okay.
& Johnson. And she said it was the big bottles.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and it was the big bottles. But it being
Yeah,
the
and-
good
and
stuff,
I
how
would
long
say-
does it take you to get through one bottle of Johnson & Johnson? Like, it could literally take you years
Yeah, and I'm
to
really-
get through
yeah.
one bottle. And she said that they would
Years.
go through, years. She said that they would go through bottles, like 6 to 10 bottles a night when they did the freak offs or whatever, because she said he would glisten. The word that she used was glisten. She needs to be glistening all the time. So every 5 minutes he would oil her up. And if he felt like she was too dry, he would let her know, you're too dry. You need to oil up and, you should be shining. So that is why he had so much lubrication all the time, which is very nasty. And let's talk about the fact that when he was arrested, which was after they raided his home. This man was arrested in a hotel, and they said he had Astroglide and Johnson & Johnson all over his freaking hotel room. He had it all in the bedroom. He had it on the nightstands. He had it everywhere. He also had $9,000 in cash, and he had pills, which was the MG or MDM, something that Cassie said that he would use in terms of the freak offs to always have them, under the influence. He had all of this after. Let's talk about after he was raided. So he was still doing freak off shit. Like, this was like the freak off kit. He was still doing it after he was raided. What a fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's crazy. Can we go back to you saying that you and your family?
What? I didn't even say nothing about my family. I didn't
Yeah,
even
you
mention my
said we.
family. No.
I thought you said we.
We who?
I don't know. I was figuring you and your family.
Not my
You said it
family. I
take
didn't say
years to get. To get through a bottle of baby oil. I'm thinking there's some serious ashiness.
No.
There's some serious ashiness going on.
What I'm saying
in
is,
your family.
no. What I'm saying is, no.
Child is left behind.
Some child is left
Some
behind.
child is left behind, and it's very.
No, what I'm saying is,
ashy.
seriously,
Somebody's
baby,
elbows and knees are white.
Baby,
now,
how many? No.
Hey, I will
Let's
get to
talk.
Diddy.
No,
Can we get to Diddy?
no.
I'm personally mad.
Let me ask you about the baby oil thing.
I like high quality.
How much?
Baby oil.
Okay. So
the
what do you
Johnson
use?
Johnson.
Okay, Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, I was mad.
Or the
I feel
Astroglide.
That
What do you use?
That Negro. No, I don't know.
No.
anything about
What I want to
Astroglide.
ask you is okay, but what I want to ask
I
you
feel
is
like Diddy broke
if
the
you
supply
have,
chain. I feel like Diddy broke the supply chain.
baby, let me ask you
I could
though.
not find.
Okay.
Listen,
What was you looking for?
A bottle of baby oil.
Baby,
of Johnson & Johnson.
Listen, don't worry.
Anywhere.
What you looking for baby
For
oil
6
for?
months.
You use
I'm personally upset.
baby. All right, so baby, when you were younger or whatever and you used baby oil, how long would it take you to get through one regular bottle of baby oil? Now, mind you, Cassie said that they were using the extra large bottle. How long did it take to get through one regular bottle of baby oil?
Yeah, a long time. I ain't gonna lie. Baby oil was not a regular thing in my household because I'm naturally moisturized. I have as you know, I have
it's
that
buttery
soft
skin. It's so buttery.
So and it is natural. I got natural emollients.
Okay. Okay.
Where I really didn't need baby oil. So baby oil was not a priority in my household. So baby oil can last up to 15 years in my household.
That's what I said.
I didn't use it because I didn't need it because I got buttery skin.
You got
my
buttery.
skin is buttery. It's buttery.
All right, you guys, and we're done. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you be part of the Beautiful People family.
That's right.
And
we are here. We are working around the clock. As I said before, we have Mexicans working in the back. And if you
we
are
would love
still
to have
here,
you be part of
you need to subscribe.
Yes.
I want to thank you three that subscribed after the last video. We are now up to 65 subscribers, although we are a little disappointed because she has been at this for 5 years and she is.
You stop it when you're ready.
And if you are still here, you are the real MVP.
Period.
Yes, we'd like you to, again, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, beautiful people. Y'all have a good evening. Talk to you later, bitches.